5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody. We were in the middle of a conversation, but we were interrupted by some outside interference. Not technical difficulties, but nigga difficulties. There was a nigga out there fucking yamming and shit. But that's over now, hopefully. And we're going to continue with our conversation. We was talking about racism. And Lee was talking about white privilege and his opinions on it. This is Harsh Opinions. Lee, go ahead.
Yeah, so what I was saying about the whole white privilege thing is it kind of works in a racist way to a black man like myself who, like I was saying, if I see a black bum and they ask me for money or they're asking for money, I'm more than likely, if I have it, I'm going to give it to them. But if I see a white bum, I don't see why you're even in this position. How'd you even make it into that position? Because you have white privilege. So I'm not giving you anything. Whether you're male or female, I just don't condone giving to, I don't know, to white bums. It doesn't, I don't know, I don't have any respect for that. Because I feel like you've had your chance. If you were able to, if you didn't take advantage of what you were born with, whereas blacks, we're not born with anything. We have to take what we get and make it into the best of what we can. Mm-hmm. So, it's kind of like, what do you call it? Backwards racism. Reverse racism. Yeah. Like what Dave Chappelle illustrated so many times, especially with the whole the black white supremacists. like it's kind of like that whole concept of it's a mentality state. It's not necessarily, it's not based off of the color of your skin. It's based off of your mentality. Oh, which brings me to another point. Something happened today, and it was just so absurd what happened. We have an employee at our job, and as soon as I came into work today, she said to my supervisor, and I'm over her, so this is my supervisor. I'm a supervisor over the floor, and she says to her, she said, "Do you?" Oh, and I must mention that she's black. She's clearly a black woman, and she says to my supervisor, she says, "Do you people have a pen that I can use?" And it just took me back, So I ended up telling my supervisor, I was like, "Man, that's Aunt Ruckus, that's the female Uncle Ruckus right there." You people, what is in her mind? Exactly.
Maybe she meant the managers.
No. She clearly has a problem because of her discourse over the months that she's been working there, of being too close to people, and I work in a 90% black environment, especially with the agents. It's probably over 90% black.
And she's black too?
And she's black too. And it just, we already know she's got issues, but when she said that, it spoke volumes on top of the issues
because
that were already.
Her past transgressions.
But the whole point of the racism thing is not like it does include how it makes you feel personally. That isn't included inside of it. But the whole point of the white supremacy structure is to have an advantage over another group of people. It's not like we said before, if somebody calls you a nigger, somebody says you're black, spook, spot, anything derogatory, to me, that's not even racism. I know it sounds stupid, but it's like they're trying to get under you individually, your skin. If I call a white dude a cracker, a milk bottle, a peckerwood, it ain't about him and his race. It's about him. I want him to feel bad.
Yeah.
I want him to feel less than I am. Racism is making a group of people feel under what you are as people. Like, okay, Donald Sterling I don't know if he's racist or not, but his
He's racist.
the adjudication under him, the evidence that came out about him was actually what racism is really about.
Yeah.
And that's making a group of people, the whole lot of them, feel under, or you think that you're superior to them.
Yeah.
And that is what the real problem is in America, because that, believe it or not, even if you get rid of this one guy, Donald Sterling, that is still the prevailing thought and mindset, even among black people in America. You feel like you're suppressed. You feel like you're under something.
Yeah, I feel like it's also the structure of it, where it comes from, because when it comes from a person in power of affluence, then the racism resonates more. But like if you were called a nigger by a bum, by this white bum on the street,
Yeah, you wouldn't even think about it.
it wouldn't because you feel higher than them.
Right.
It's from where it comes from
Right.
that makes it so much bigger. But this lady at my job, she sort of looks like a bum. I mean, like she wears the same exact thing to work every day. She wears these shoes that don't fit. Like we think she might be homeless. We don't know. You know, like that's how she looks. You know, and that's why it was also confusing. You know, what she said coming from her stature, from where she was saying it from. It was like we didn't take it as serious. Like if one of my white agents has said that, then even though they're not necessarily in a higher position than me, they're because of their ultimate background, because of their race background,
because of the world we live in.
Yeah,
it feels like they're in a higher position than you are.
It's like how do we differentiate the way we feel about racism? Like are we letting it affect us into suppression?
Yes.
Like, and why does it affect us into suppression? Even if it comes from somebody that's lower than us.
Well, it's working on your self-esteem. That's the whole point of it. In order to subjugate a people, what do you have to do? You got to make them feel less than you are. You have to feel naturally like, I'm not as good as these people. You look on TV, all the ads, all the nice shows, all the nice movies, they're white driven. Either they're full of white people or they're directed by white people. What's it when you give them money? They're produced by white people.
But also,
it's almost subconscious now.
It's inherent because the funny thing about it is, I think a lot of those same people that are in those positions of power aren't necessarily trying to keep that stigma going, but the inherency of the way that we perceive it,
right,
is.
But that's the whole point. That's the system. That's the system.
A lot of what y'all are talking about is, for me, like a monetary issue. Like white people have had a much longer time to build like a footing and grounding of a family value type of system to where they can, move on in each progressive generation of
not
their
just
family.
monetary, but also what do they call it?
It's mostly monetary.
What do they call it in caste system? Like their place,
social status.
Yeah, but their status grows as each like individual like offspring of a certain person grows basically. So this person had $50,000 a year. This person their son's probably gonna have more, right? So we as black folks we've had much lesser time since 1856 or whatever. 1865. Sorry, 1865 to pretty much grow our grounding and all as far as that. Like my grandfather was a slave.
Jesus.
Yeah, because my parents are old as shit.
Yeah.
So that's how that works.
I remember you first told me, I was like, shit.
Yeah. So like he didn't have much to to go based on, and like the the 60s and shit were really racist anyway. Mm-hmm. So like as far as now like the age that we live in right now, like my dad was like a integrator basically. Like he was the first person to live in certain white neighborhoods. So I pretty much lived around a lot of white people all my life, but I never experienced any racism myself. But it's all really about how much money you have
you
going
grew up
into
in the
it.
South either.
I grew up in the South.
Kansas?
Stone Mountain, Georgia. Yeah.
How old were you when you got there?
0.
Oh.
Then I lived in Oklahoma for a while, which is like I heard it's like supposed to be like the person the person who apparently started the KKK lived in Oklahoma or something like that, and I didn't experience any racism there. So like as far as racism goes, it's really more of a old issue than it is a new issue, as far as I'm concerned. But it's really about a monetary thing.
It's a never ending issue.
It's very layered, actually. It's not just monetary. I mean, for me, the racism thing on a very, very broad scale is about the survivalness of white people. Because in actuality, white people wouldn't survive on this planet without black people.
Jesus.
And
right.
You might see that as a reverse racism type of thing, but actually it's not. It's like
no, it's racism.
No, it's not.
It's not reverse. That's racism.
No,
what about is it racist? How like we always hear about in the media and stuff when a white person is racist against a black person. But there's almost never any mention of a black person being racist against white people.
Yeah, but you got to understand, all of that is enclosed in the system of white supremacy.
Yeah, exactly. It's like oh,
we don't have our own radio, like national, well-known black-owned radio or TV or cable station. We have none of those things. We don't even in our neighborhoods have our own stores. We have nothing of our own.
That's true, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that black people can't be racist.
No, it doesn't mean black people can't be racist. But what I'm saying is that it means they can. But what I'm saying is that it means very much less. It means very much less if a black person is racist than a white person.
I totally agree. So I say we get that.
If we own the world as our collective group of people, why would a white person hating us mean anything? In actuality, it doesn't. The reason they make a big deal out of it, the reason that you'll hear about it is because there always needs to be a deflection away from the main argument. Like I said, no matter how liberal a white person you meet, they'll never attack or be aggressively against the issue of white supremacy. They never will, because that's their bread and butter. They'll talk about racism. They'll talk about social inequality. They'll talk about everything else, that all the branches of the tree except the trunk of it, which is white supremacy, which is white people having an automatic, inherent leg up on black people.
Well, if you were in that position, if it was vice versa, would you talk about anything?
Absolutely. You know why I would?
Why?
Because society cannot sustain itself on such a level that
it has
right
for
now.
Thousands of years.
No, it hasn't for thousands of years. We've been under this system of suppression for maybe 400 years.
Well, if you know
society hasn't always been this way, bro. Hey, if you go watch this movie, it's called Hidden Colors, man.
That's when we were separate too.
But if you
it wasn't like that in Egypt. It was very, very, very dark skinned people, and there were light skinned people there as well. All the monuments they show in Egypt.
How come all the pictures in Egypt?
All the pictures.
All the people in Egypt now are dark skinned.
I'll tell you why. All the monuments they had back then, and all the people that have been, the people that are there now were the people that came in there, and they lightened up all of those statues. They shot the lips and nose off the Sphinx, so you won't even know that all that great shit that we made, the pyramids, the Sphinx. All the hieroglyphs. That shit was made by black people, bro.
I think it was aliens.
Pyramids, I do.
Well,
we've lost a lot of.
We've lost everything, bro. Like no monument.
That shit is laser precise.
Nah, dude.
I did that shit without.
That shit is solely precise.
No, I know.
Celestial precise.
If it's laser precise, How you gonna do it without lasers?
Dude,
Because there's always a foundation. How do we get the lasers? Like the knowledge. Like
it was
the knowledge.
fucking aliens, nigga.
dude, they already had. They
It was
already
aliens. I believe it was aliens.
All right, show of hands who believe it was aliens that built the pyramids.
Nah, I mean
That's
even-
just celestial precise.
Nah, man.
No,
Like,
this shit is aligned
like
with
it's,
cosmos.
it's,
But-
yeah,
but-
it's aligned to all that
but-
shit
but
too.
that- but-
like,
but
but
then-
that doesn't mean that we didn't
But
do
then
it.
y'all are denigrating.
I do it.
Y'all
I
are
do think it was black
denigrating
people that
the
did.
human. Y'all are denigrating the human ability to have that knowledge. Y'all are saying that humans are unable to attain that type of knowledge.
I'm just saying I believe it was aliens. Humans could
That's
do
what
it
I'm
because we
saying.
can do it.
But
Because we can do it
your
now.
belief-
But humans
and
are
humans-
aliens if they're going to a different fucking planet. We're aliens to them too. The thing about it is like, hey, before 1500, man, all the major structures in the world were made by black people. All of them. The white people came, took a religion that African people had,
Well, the Chinese-
changed
the
it,
Chinese
and
people
spread
did
it.
like
Okay.
shit.
Spread it to
let
suit
me-
their own benefits.
Let me say this about my opinions on racism, because the way you say black people did this and white people took it that, like, in my opinion, we're all the fucking same. And I told this to all you guys. We're all the fucking same. We're all Homo sapiens. We're all humans. And yes, there's differences, like slight. The fucking Asians have dry earwax, I've heard. That could be wrong. I don't know.
Squinty eyes and shit.
Squinty eyes, and we have big noses and bigger lips. But like at the end of the day,
Bigger
we're
dicks.
humans. I could fuck an Asian bitch, have a baby. I could fuck a black girl, have a baby.
Like
I
how
can-
all dogs can fuck each other.
Yeah.
Even though they
They're
may be-
still
Even though they
dogs.
may be different, they still canines.
Yeah, they're canine. We're Homo sapiens. We're all the same. So the racism shit, yeah, from black people, we get a pass for being racism, like racist. We can be racist as motherfucker. Like my mother, love her to death, but she's very discriminatory against certain other colors.
but it doesn't hold. It doesn't hold.
It doesn't hold the
weight.
same weight. And like, because
Why?
I said we get a
But why
pass.
doesn't it hold the same way?
Because we get a
because
pass.
We're social.
We've
social-
been had it.
We're
We
socially,
we're
economically
socially
below the people that above
so
us.
we get a pass. So I can say
Yeah.
fuck crackers, fuck white people,
Right.
fuck them all.
Right.
But
that
at the
goes-
same
that goes
time, my
towards-
belief is that I'm the same person as a white person.
Right. And a
I
woman
came
might
from a
think
white
she's the
person.
same
I came
as
from
you,
black people. I
but
came
if you
from
treat her
Indian.
less
So
than-
basically, you're saying fuck yourself. If
Yes.
you fuck anybody
If you're
else.
racist, you're stupid. That's my whole point.
Right. No, I agree.
No, let me finish.
Most black people in America have white blood in them because all the slave
All
masters-
white, nearly
slaves.
almost 100% of black
But
people
the
have
same
white blood
token
in
is-
America.
all
Unless you came
white people
directly-
have black blood.
Yeah, I'm about to say
Right.
we all come from
Ultimately-
Africa.
Yeah.
Ultimately,
We all
yeah.
came from. I remember in college. I don't know what course it was, but it was like the beginning of man or some shit, and they trace the mitochondrial DNA of man, not just a black man, white man, of human beings. They traced that shit to like some part in Africa, and they found this tribe that had all these fucking representations.
Olmec?
I don't think it was Olmec. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. It was 5, 7, 8 years ago that I saw this fucking movie that my professor showed me. It had like they found this tribe in Africa where the fucking crucible of life.
in Africa.
It was in
Oh,
Africa,
never mind.
and they had Asian features, black people features, white people features. It was like we're
They
all
were
of this
close
fucking
to the
same.
original men.
Yeah, they traced the shit through the mom DNA, like not daddy DNA.
Maternal, yeah.
Yeah, it was like
Maternal.
we all
Maternal,
like I think it was mitochondrial, but I could be wrong. We're all the fucking same. So being racist is retarded. It's just basically saying
It's a completely man-made concept.
it really is. It's like there's
But
no
it's-
race.
but like I
It's
was
a human
saying,
race.
like I was
It's the same
saying,
as
we're
being sexist, though.
we're
It's-
we're
You just
social,
want to be better than somebody
we're
else for
social
your
beings.
survival.
We're social
And that's what I'm
beings,
saying.
and that is a social concept, a concept of separation. Because while yes, like that's just like saying to the nigga in the hood, do you want this fucking Chihuahua or you want this pit bull? I guarantee you, the nigga in the hood, he gonna want that fucking pit bull because he thinks that's better.
Yeah.
He gives that more clout
For his
than
own
he
survival,
would.
right?
And if there was like a really like what's the word, a superior race, it'd really be black people anyway because we can take more sun. We can.
I mean, it's
handle
only
the
because
sun
we're the first. We're the first.
But like we're less
Yeah,
fragile.
I remember
overall than
hearing.
white
I remember
people.
hearing about something about
Slightly.
like how it had to start with
That's the only real
darker skinned
difference.
people because of the whole melanin because we face the sun every single day.
Yeah.
And white people
lives.
can't even face it.
Like you can't go from light and get darker because
Right.
eventually you will die out.
Right.
You can only go from darker and get lighter.
Yeah.
And the whole way of how white people got white, you know, because they were like basically away. They were where everybody had spread out and everything. Where white people ended up getting white was because they were basically like living in caves and living
They were away from the sun.
They were away from the sun. They were living in like England where it's like not sunny at all.
This is proven fact.
So you end up getting lighter
You
and
lose
lighter
your
over time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can only lose melanin. Like you can't necessarily gain it.
Yeah.
If you burn a nigger to the 3rd degree, he's gonna be white. That's just how it works.
I mean, the first, like I said, this is proven. It's proven science that the first people were, proven it within man's reason. It's proven science that Africans were the first original people, and we had the dominant genes of all genes. Black people can have blue-eyed children. Black people can have blonde-haired
Black people
children.
should have white children.
Black people can have white children. Like
Albinos.
we can have albinos. We are the dominant gene. So yeah, what you were saying is that if anyone can be racist, it'd be black people. But I don't even want to be that way because like it's still stupid because like we're all the fucking same. We're still homosexual. We have the same 26 chromosomes.
How is that being stupid? And I know I don't want to revert back to the topic we were talking about last time, but being a communist is stupid.
I never said that. I never said it was stupid.
You're saying that we're all the same people. Yeah. But that's what I was saying.
I was saying how it wouldn't work in this current.
Okay, I know. I know it is. I just want to say one.
If you thought I was saying communists are stupid, no. I would love communists to work, but it won't work because I know people.
Right. But
we're all the same.
But you also realize that these people are different than we are. This thing that I was talking to about my sister.
The same way I can convey it to you.
No. Listen to what I'm saying.
I already don't want to. It's not gonna work then. It didn't work then. It's not gonna work now.
She was saying how they are smarter than we are.
Who?
White people are smarter than black people. Your sister said that?
Please bring it on to the next show.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Jesus
Can you listen to what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But to me, it's not a matter of intelligence. It's a matter of ruthlessness. It's a matter of what you're willing to do that somebody else won't do. To me, somebody making a truck engine work is just as smart or intelligent as somebody going into your body and looking into your heart. It's just a different type of intelligence.
No doubt.
Right.
Yeah.
So to me, it's not a matter of being smart or dumb. It's not a matter of you being higher or lower. It's a matter of what can you do. What's your gift?
What you willing?
What's your gift on this thing?
And the validity of your gift too, because like you can be the greatest artist in the world, but you're not. You may not make as much money.
Your art is only going to be worth what people think is worth.
Yeah.
Right.
Versus like being a heart surgeon. Well, you're prized because you can save lives, but at the same time, art could save lives because it inspires and
all of it.
But it's just based off of what people accept as what's gonna take them to the next level, and that's what racism does. Racism keeps certain people from thinking that what they have is on the next level.
Right.
If we look at the breakdown in the United States of races, I have to do the math for the white people, but yeah, that's just how I know.
How can you even calculate that?
Asian people are 4%, black folks are 12%, and Hispanics are 16%. So whatever's the remaining is pretty much white.
But how can you even calculate that? Like you go door to door to ask people.
The census. You just do the math and then subtract that, and the rest is white.
So it's pretty shaky.
They have a bigger
pool.
That's pretty shaky. How do you let somebody know you're racist?
So because
to me, it shouldn't even be illegal to be racist, bro.
He's not saying racist. He's saying your race, whatever race you are. You know.
No, he's saying like if you're racist.
No, race.
Your race.
Yes.
What do you mean?
So since the higher percentage,
the breakdown of races.
You said that horribly.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, I took it saying these are the races in there.
Yeah,
that's how I took it.
I said there's a percentage of races in the United States.
Not racists.
Racists.
Okay.
Yes. So because of that, and the white people came first before everyone else except for the Native Americans who they raped. So
we have baseball because of that.
But it shouldn't even
white man invented
right.
baseball.
It shouldn't
So
even be
because there's so plentiful and they came before black folks. They're gonna naturally have an advantage even if you throw out the whole.
Well, that's only temporary though.
But the problem,
Right.
the problem with
10
America
years,
is not racism.
Viva la raza.
It's no problem.
It's gonna be Mexicans.
It's no problem with me thinking less of one people or another. It's discrimination. It's me saying because you're black, you should not be allowed to do what I do. It's not because my mom, my own people think stupid things, and I love them, but it's stupid things.
But those thoughts could lead to something.
I got a serious question.
But discrimination is the real problem.
Black folks have the right to be discriminated versus white people because of what they experience.
I think black people had a right to fucking actually stop being so fucking self-conscious and low, having low self-esteem.
You take the power out of it.
Yes.
Stop
giving people. If I call you dumb and you crawl up into a fucking ball, I own you.
Yeah.
You're my bitch. Yeah. But if I call you stupid and you look at me and say, bro, you're not making any sense or whatever. You take all that away, man.
By acknowledging it, by
accepting
it,
then you give it power.
Yeah, you're giving it power.
Yeah, I say stop that.
It's just like the bully that nobody ever stands up to. That bully stays in power,
right?
Because there's nobody to dethrone that.
That's the same way I feel about the word nigger. Like it has
no
power over me. I've been called nigger by a white person in Statesboro, Georgia. I was like, that's all you got? Like, really?
Right. You just take the
fuck out of here.
You take all the foundation out.
I want to hear Garland's question. What Garland was?
My question was, if a black man and a Mexican man are in the car, who's driving? Cop.
Wow.
There's a cop out there too. Yeah. That is
that nigga we were talking about got arrested.
Yeah, the nigga we was talking about.
He was trying to buck on them.
I don't know if you got arrested or not, but that nigga is 12 out there. Yeah. I heard all types of cops speak.
Yeah, I got a correction by the way. I think it was my great grandfather.
Yeah, I was about to say, damn,
it's my great grandfather.
Your dad must be like,
that nigga 130.
My grandfather. My grandfather was born in 1924, and like he was born in Virginia. He wasn't no slave.
Oh shit!
All
right, that's a good stopping point.
I think his name is Anderson. Get over here, Anderson.
My great grandfather name was Garland.
Nigga got that Wolverine blood.
I don't even know how to stop this. This is not what I'm used to. What the fuck? How do I stop this?
I got James.